Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining this one. We will have our session 1 for YSCT, Yeastar Certified Technician training. So this is going to be our session 1. We will talk about something very fundamental, very basic. In other words, we're going to talk about the hardware installation and the system settings in our session 1. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys have lots of questions, want to know more details about our P-Series system, and right now it's just a moment, and let's get started. Okay, let's jump in. So first thing first, I would like to give you guys, a general introduction about this. What is VoIP? Because as we know, P-Series PBX, Yeastar P-Series PBX, it's an IP-based telephony system, right? As we know. So IP-based telephony system, I'm pretty sure you guys will see this word, which is called VoIP. So what is VoIP? Well, the VoIP, the full name of VoIP is called Voice over IP. So what is that? Well, first of all, you know IP, it's Internet Protocol, right? That's some sort of Internet technology, right? And the voice means voice communications, right? So if we figure out the meaning of voice and IP, then this is going to be a pretty simple concept, not that complex. That basically means we're going to use the internet technology to realize the communication, the voice communications. That's exactly what it is. So I give you guys an example. As we know, many years ago, when we try to realize, let's see the audio call, we're going to use the traditional analog telephony system. So how can we realize the communication? Well, we use the telephone lines, right? It might be PSC analog based or some other digital telephone lines, right, for making a call. So that was what we did before, right, with the traditional telephone lines for communications. Well, the VoIP will just be a little bit different this time. Means we're going to use the internet protocol. We're going to use the internet technology with data packets, with data transmission to realize the voice communications. That's exactly what it is. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. So first thing first, we already figured out this basic, very general concept. Now let's just talk about the P-Series system. Yeastar P-Series system, it's exactly a platform designed for SME users for their daily communication. Well, not just that, actually, guys. Because as you can see here, we would like to call P-Series system as more than just a PBX. Because first of all, you can use the P-Series system to work as the core system, the core server for your communications, for making calls, right? All the key telephony features are fully supported on this. Well, besides that, you will also be able to have a whole bunch of unified communication features based on that. For example, you can have instant message, you can manage your presence, you can start a video conference. Some sort of features like that are fully related with your unified communications. So that's exactly what it is, the P-Series system. Quite special, okay? But anyway, this is just like an overview of the P-Series system. Now, let's just keep going, talk about more details with our P-Series hardwares. Okay, so as you can see, P-Series system, we have 3 models totally. They are P550, P560, and P570. So from P550 to P570, they can cover from 50 users to maximally 500 users. Wow, that's exactly a system designed for SME market. Okay, once again. And as you guys can see here, the concurrent calls, P550 gives you 25, P560 gives you 30, but you can change it to 60. And P570, originally you can have 60 concurrent calls, maximally you can have 120 concurrent calls. So right now you probably get a question is, how can we change the capacity of P560 and P570? Don't worry, just hold on a second. All right, later on, I'm going to talk about the module installation. P-Series system supports modularity. We can use different modules to customize the system. So that means we can change the capacity by using our modules. But anyway, I'm going to talk about more details later, okay? Anyway, just have a quick view now. As you guys can see here, all of our P-Series models, P550, P560, P570, 3 models, they can also support analog interfaces, digital interfaces. It's customizable. Okay, so if you want to connect some analog channels or digital channels or analog terminals, it is supported, it is possible. Okay, now let's talk about the details. So once again, here I got a particular list here, the specifications. Let's just have a check. As I mentioned, P550 gives you 50 users, 25 concurrent calls, supports NFC function for your configuration. I will also talk about details later. All right. 8 gigs flash, all right, and RAM will be 2 gigs. As you can see here, pretty simple, very clear. And it also supports FXS, FXO, or BRI. Maximally, you will have 8 interfaces. It doesn't support E1 or T1 or J1. Okay. It can support 4 channels for your cordless solution, which is going to be GSM, 3G, 4G. I mean, the same card, right? Expansion card. I'm sorry. This is expansion module D30. You guys can see this. Expandable D30. That particular module, P550, doesn't support. That's why you can never change the user capacity of your P550. Okay. And as for USB, it support one interface actually, and maximally the capacity of your USB flash disk can be 2 terabits. That's big. That's really big, right? It doesn't support hard disk drive, as you can see here. All right. Now let's check on P560. Well, P560, as I mentioned, originally you can have 100 users, 30 concurrent calls, but you can use our D30 expansion module. So you will be able to have 200 users and 60 concurrent calls maximally. All right. Again, it can also support NFC. It can also support flash. Flash will be 16 gigs. RAM will be 2 gigs, same as Euro, same as what we have on P550. And it can also support analog interfaces, but it will be a little bit different. Have a look. So FXS, FXO, BRI, it supports the same amount, which will be 8. And as for E1, T1, and J1, it can support 1 interface for it. And for the wireless channels, we can support 4, exactly the same thing. And as for the D30 module, just like I mentioned, it can support 1 unit. Okay, then the last one, P570. P570, you can see here is, it's quite special actually. Originally, you will have 300 users, 60 concurrent calls, but it's possible for you to customize the capacity. You can have 400 users or 500 users with 90 concurrent calls or 120 concurrent calls. It exactly depends on your module installation with our D30, okay? Because you can support, you can have maximally 2 units of D30 module fixed on the P570, okay? Then other interfaces, basically P570 can support them all, but the amount of interfaces are a little bit different. As you can see, the FXS, FXO, or BRI, we can have 16 interfaces maximally. And for the E1, we can have 2. And for same card, let's see, for this cordless solution, we can have 6 channels. All right. Other parameters are quite simple, but just be careful, like I mentioned, P560 and P570, only these 2 models can support hard disk drive, and the maximum capacity of your hard disk drive will be 2 terabits. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so let's check on some details. I got some photos, got some pics here. Have a look. This is going to be the P550. This is how it looks like. And if you got a brand new P550, first of all, on the front side panel, you can see from my left hand to the right side, you can see that's called NFC. Actually, you can see Yeastar logo. Behind it, it's on an NFC tag, which means you can use a mobile application with the NFC function to change the IP address of your system. I will talk about more details later, okay? Then next to it is going to be the system LED. This is going to be the indicator. This indicator just tells you what is going on with your system working status and your power status. All right, pretty simple. Then we have WAN port, we have LAN port, 2 interfaces for Ethernet connection. Then on the right side here will be your analog interfaces, RJ11 ports. They are fully customizable. Okay, so how can we customize the interface? Well, check on my left side corner here. You guys can see this little pic on my left side corner. This is the way how we customize the interface. You basically use the screwdriver, open the box, fix some modules on the system, then you can just customize the interface. All right. Then the backside panel, you can see we have 4 antennas. So if you wanna, use your SIM card or something, you fix the cordless module on the system with your SIM card. Then you will use the antenna for the cordless solution. Then here we have power. That's the power switch. Then you can see there's a reset button. So this is basically how it looks like. All right, the next one, P560. P560, it looks a little bit different because this model is a little bit bigger, so you will see it looks quite different. All right, first off, our front side panel, you will have an FC, same position there, and then you will have interfaces. We give you guys 8 RJ11 ports, but it looks like this. All right. Later on, we will just keep going. All right, let's just keep going. Later on, I'm going to talk about the details. Once again, how we customize the RJ11 ports. All right. Then check on my left side corner here. This is exactly how it looks like. You can open the box, then you will see that's the motherboard. All right. That one supports the hard disk drive. So if you want to use the hard disk drive, you're supposed to fix it on the motherboard to expand the storage. And then check on the rear panel. So the rear panel here, you guys can see we have a reset button on the left side corner here. We have system LED, power LED. Those indicators are there. And you will also have one slot for SD card. So you can also use the SD card to expand the storage as well. Then here we have USB, flash disk, interface. We have antennas, right? We have WAN port, we have LAN port, and there's a console port for troubleshooting. Then on the right side corner here will be the power switch. So this is exactly how it looks like on the P560. And as for the P570, they are quite similar. The P560 and P570 are quite similar. The only difference we have here, I guess, is just going to be the interface. Take a look. Because P570 can support one more slot for expansion board installation, which means you can customize the front side panel with different expansion board, so you will be able to have more analog or digital interfaces. Now in this example, you can see I fixed a part. I just fixed this particular part with E1 port. And on the other side, it's going to be 8 RJ11 port. That's exactly the way how I'm going to customize it. But it's flexible, all right? I will talk about details later, okay? Then other things left here are quite simple, all right? It's exactly the same thing. Same way how we customize the P560. Now this one is the same thing, okay? Now keep going. So these are all the modules which I was talking about before. Let's have a check one by one. The first module we have there is the red one. It's called O2 module. This module gives you 2 interfaces for FXO. So what's the meaning? It actually means if you fix this O2 module on your PBX, then you will be able to have 2 RJ11 ports are going to be activated as the FXO interface. That's it. And another one, the green one, is going to be S2 module. If you fix this module on your system, then you're going to activate 2 RJ11 ports to work as FXS. All right, see, this is easy, right? Well, as for the FXO, we're just going to use it to connect with our telephone lines, which is going to be our PSTN telephone lines, right? And as for the FXS, mostly we're going to use this to connect with our endpoints. Now, for example, your analog phone, your fax machine, anyway, those analog-based terminals, we're going to use the FXS for the connection. Okay. Then the next one, the third one, is called SO module. This module gives you one interface for FXO, one interface for FXS. So it's kind of like a fallback solution for your FXO. It's like if we use the if we use the SO module on the system. So sometimes if our system is out of power, let's see, out of power. So if our system is out of power right now, but we can still use the SO module for making a call. It's for emergency situation because you still have one interface for FXO which connects with your telephone line. It has the power, right? And on the other side, we have FXS interface. It connects with our analog phone. So this analog phone and this telephone line are fully connected by using this SO module. That's a fallback solution. Okay. Then next part, GSM module, WCDMA module, and 4G LTE module. They are Similar, right? Quite similar. It's just like the cordless solution I mentioned. Whatever it is, you're just going to use this, any of them for the cordless solution. You will use your SIM card with the antenna, then you fix this module on the system. So you can use your SIM card for making calls as well. That's it. And the next part will be BRI module, the yellow one, I guess. Actually, it's the orange one. Probably we have some color issue here. That will be the orange one, actually. I'm sorry, the BRI module. That module gives you two interfaces for BRI. Not that popular, but we do support it. Okay, the next one. Next one is called EX08. This is an expansion board. This is a big one. This expansion board is only available on the P560 and P570, as you guys can see on this list. All right, be careful. This expansion board only supports on P560 and P570. One unit of the EX08 gives you 8 interfaces for RJ11. Keep this in your mind. All right. And the next one is going to be EX30. This card, same thing. It can also support P560 and P570 only. All right. And this expansion board gives you one interface for E1, the RJ45. Okay. And the last module we have here is called D30. This is the module for expansion, and it's also only available on the P560 and P570. You cannot use this on the P550. All right. This one actually can support, like I said, it just gives you more users and more concurrent costs. Every single unit of the D30 module gives you 100 users and 30 concurrent costs additionally. All right, so on your P560, you can fix 1 unit. On your P570, you can support 2 units. And on your P550, well, you can't. It doesn't support. Okay, now let's keep going. So here's an example. This is actually the way how we use the D30 module, just like I mentioned. Every single 1 unit of the D30 module supports 100 extensions and 30 concurrent costs additionally. You will basically need to fix the D30 module on your P560 and your P570 to expand the capacity. Okay, and this is the way how we customize the system with our expansion board, EX30 and EX08. Once again, like I said, you can only use EX08 and EX30 on your P560 and your P570. Okay, so we're supposed to use the screwdriver, open the box, then we will just take this expansion board, fix it on the system by plug and play. All right, so let's keep going. So this is the way how we customize the P560 if we want to make it work as the one on the right side corner. See that one? So if you want to customize your P560, make it work like this, then you're supposed to customize your system with a couple of things. All right, so first of all, you're going to remove the cover, absolutely. Then you will need to take the D30 module, fix it on the system. You will have, 200 users and 60 concurrent costs maximally. And as for the interface, like I said, you can customize your interface with EX30, with either EX30 or EX08, depends on you. Now, in this example, if I want to customize the system like what I have on the right side corner, this picture, you guys can see this one. So I will just need to use EX08. That's quite clear, right? And as for the P570, it's quite similar, but the difference here is the expansion board. We can support 2 units. All right, you can have 2 expansion boards, fixed it on the system, not like P560. This one gives you one more option. And as for the D30 module installation, well, again, you can fix the 2 units of the D30 module. Well, not like the previous one. You can only have 1. See the difference? Okay, now let's keep going. All right, so because I just mentioned your P570 gives you that possibility to fix 2 units of the expansion board. Well, you have the flexibility to customize your system as you wish. It can be very flexible like this, okay? All right, now let's just keep going. Okay, so this is actually the way how we customize the system. If you want to customize your system, then you're supposed to take your screwdriver, open the box, absolutely, and then for the module installation, we will just use the plug and play. Exactly, so we use the plug and play fix it on the system. That's just the way how we customize this. All right. And as for the expansion board installation, you guys can see you will need to fix the expansion board on the system by plug and play, and then don't forget to use the screwdriver to fix it. All right, just to fix it on the PBX. I'm pretty sure this is very easy for you guys. If you get the brand new system, you will simply need to take the PBX out of the box, and you can see there's another small box. There's another smaller box in the package. That box actually gives you the accessories, so you can use our accessories for all this installation. Okay. So just have a look. This is for your reference. Okay, so let's just keep going. All right. Now, that was all about the hardware installation. Now, another thing left here is going to be the NFC feature. So how can we use the NFC? Because I just mentioned the NFC. All right, NFC function will be very helpful if you want to deploy your PBX. At the very beginning, I guess this is going to be the first step. Use your mobile application, which is called Yeastar Linkus. All right, so this is your preparation work. If you want to use the NFC function to configure the IP address for your PBX, step 1, get your mobile ready there and log into the Google Play or App Store. Search Yeastar Linkus. This application, you guys can see Linkus, Linkus. Search this Yeastar Linkus application. That's your mobile software. That's the software on your mobile for your UC client. That's actually the mobile client. We have so many UC clients. This is actually the mobile client. So get this UC application on your mobile and then open it. All right, just open it. And you can use your mobile to scan the P550, P560, or P570 with the NFC directly. Okay. So this is the way how we use it. First of all, we open the application like I said. Then we go click on NFC. All right, we tap it. Then we will just go access this one. Step 2, click on scan to activate NFC. And then we will just scan the P-Series PBX. Well, be careful, guys. You will need to scan the Yeastar logo on the P-Series system. All right, because our NFC chip is behind the logo. Okay. As for how can we scan the NFC chip, you will also need to check on your mobile, all right? Because some of your mobiles probably get the NFC chip on the top side, or probably on the bottom side, or probably on the center. Anyway, just confirm with that. Then use your mobile to scan the Yeastar logo. Okay, this is the way how you're gonna do it. And later on, you will see this. You will have this particular interface. So you can customize the IP address for your PBX directly, even the Ethernet mode there. Not just the IP address, even the Ethernet settings, network settings, you can just realize all of them by using your mobile application Linkus with the NFC. Okay. Now, you scan it first, then you just write it down. Okay, this is basically what you're going to do. And once you finish the edit, all right, then you just try to scan the PBX again. So make sure all of your message, all of your information you just wrote on your application has been, transferred to the PBX. And then we can just power on the PBX and all of our configurations will just gonna take effect. This is the way how we customize it. Very simple. So it's like, generally speaking, it's like you scan it first, then you just make your modification. This is the second step. Third step, you just scan the PBX again, and then turn it on. Just power on your system, and all this information, all this, parameters will be updated on your PBX automatically. Okay. And then once you already configure the IP address, all right, for example, we already figured this out. We got this IP address, as you guys can see. For the LAN port configuration, it's going to be 192.168.6.110. This is the IP address we set. Then we can just use this particular IP address with our browser. Our recommendation for you guys is going to be Google Chrome. All right, use the Chrome. Go access the PBX directly. So you also need to take the Ethernet cable, connect the LAN port on your PBX. Then on the other side, just connect with your computer, your laptop. Anyway, then you use this IP address to log in. And as you guys can see here, P-Series PBX is going to be connected by using HTTPS. That's what it is. So you will be able to see this is a security alert. All right. Don't worry about the security alert. All right, because we use HTTPS. That's why. So you can simply go click on this. Proceed to this particular IP address. We're just gonna go access the PBX directly because this is nothing special. This is not like a website in the public network. This is just your hardware. So the only thing we will see this security alert is because we use HTTPS. This is good for security. So you will have this alert. But like I said, it's your own hardware. So you can just go click on proceed to this particular IP address. Here we go. Then you're going to jump in. Now, once you're in the system, the next step you will have here is going to be the configuration, the installation wizard. You will have the installation wizard. So when you try to start your configuration, well, actually, you need to go through this installation wizard. As you guys can see here, we have 4 steps. Network settings, administrator settings, date and time settings, PBX localization. 4 steps. Not a big deal. You can simply follow this, all right? Network settings, we've already changed the IP address with our NFC. If you want to have some other customization, you go with this particular page, all right? So Ethernet mode, the default configuration, it's single mode. The default interface is LAN port. That's why we use the LAN port for the connection, right? And then you can just customize the IP address for your LAN port. Or you can also choose the Ethernet mode as bridge mode or door mode. 2 more options. It depends on you, all right? But let's just make it simpler. We just use the LAN port, all right? We just use the single mode with the LAN port directly. Then we go click on next to the next step. So the next step, you're supposed to set your administrator's information because for security reason, P-Series system never gives you any default username or default password. You're supposed to set it over here by yourself. So as you guys can see, you're going to set the default super administrator's username and the password. You're supposed to configure this by yourself. And also you will need to set the email address for the super admin, mobile number for the super admin. And you can also set the event notifications for the super admin. Whatever happens in the future, you don't want to miss the notification. You can set this particular contact to work as the notification contact if there's something wrong happens in the future. Okay, then next step. Step 3, date and time. Date and time is not a big deal, to be very honest, I guess. We can just choose this. You guys can see, first of all, time zone. NTP server, right? You can simply use our default NTP server. All right, this is, I give you guys a suggestion. We have the default NTP server. You can just keep what it is, all right? Because the only thing you need to do there is just make sure the network is okay. We can get the internet access from our local area network. Then we can just use the default NTP server. Then the only thing need to be configured here will be your time zone. All right, daylight saving time depends on you. Day display format, time display format, it depends on you. Have some customization there. And the last one will be PBX localization, step 4. So localization depends on you, like system prompt language. Which one would you like to use it? English or some other languages? You can customize it. Device name here, you can also customize it as well. And notification email language, mostly we will keep this as the same one with our system language, right? Then name display format. I guess usually we will use first name, last name with space in between. That's okay. We can keep this way. Then tone region depends on you. This is just an example, as you guys can see on my presentation. It's United States, North America, but there are many options. You can just make your own selection there if you want to customize this part. Okay. After that, check on the right side corner. We have reboot now. You just go click on it. Then the system will take like around 2 minutes to reboot. And later on, it will be restarted. And you can just log into your system. So you can start your configuration. Okay. And then you can just log into the PBX. I will give you guys an example. Okay. So have a check. Once we figure out the installation wizard, then we can see this particular interface. Then over here, we can just enter the username you configure for the super admin and the password which you configure for it as well. Then we go click on login. So here we go. Now we're just in the system. Now you can just start your configuration, okay? So now let's talk about the basic settings on the system. Once you're in the system, the first thing you have here will be the dashboard. All right, the dashboard, it's exactly a visualized panel. It tells you the real-time working status of your PBX. For example, like your active costs, your CPU utilization, memory usage, anyway, and even your interface status. As I mentioned, we can customize the hardwares, right? We can have some customization with our modules. So if you fix some modules on your system, then you will be able to see some interfaces like FXO, like a GSM. You're going to be able to see them. This is exactly what you can do with this dashboard. All right. And by the way, you can also see something else like registered extension, zip trunk available, Linux client logins. All the details you can just check on the dashboard. So once again, this is exactly like a center, like a information center. All right, whatever happens on your system, you want to check the current working status. You check on the dashboard. Okay, now let's keep going. Now, next one I want to talk about for the basic configuration once we're in the system is, let's just have a quick look. Once we're in the system, we're supposed to go check on system here, go click on network. So like I said, even you already deploy your PBX there with NFC with installation wizard. Perhaps in the future you still wanna customize your PBX. You still wanna change the network settings. How can we do it? Well, we will need to go click on system, find the network here, and right over here, you can change the basic settings for your interfaces, for your Ethernet mode. As I mentioned at the very beginning, we support single mode, dual mode, and bridge mode. Mostly, we're going to use single mode or bridge mode. This is quite popular. Now, if you use single mode, default interface is just going to be LAN port, and WAN port is not going to be available for you to customize it. All right, you can only configure your LAN port parameters here. So we support DHCP. You can make your LAN port to work under DHCP. Means we're going to get the dynamic IP address from the DHCP server for the LAN port. Or we can use the most common one, which is going to be static IP address. So I'm just going to configure a very particular IP address for the LAN port. Or triple PoE, very traditional, like old school style. This is kind of like many years ago, the way we get the internet access is actually based on analog telephone line, right? We use modem. If that's the way how we get the internet access from the service provider, then pretty sure you're going to use triple PoE because you don't have an IP address. You will have username and the password, so you use triple PoE. All right, but that's not popular. Okay. Another option here we have is going to be dual mode. If you choose dual mode here, you can see here. First of all, don't forget to select the particular interface to work as the default interface. All right. And then, let's see, I'm going to use the LAN port to work as the default interface. So it means all the data connection, data transmission, they go for the LAN port. This is the default interface. All right. And then you can configure your WAN port specifically. Now, what's the meaning? You probably got a question now is, hey, the default interface is going to be LAN port. Then how can we make use of the WAN port? All right, this is actually for a very special scenario. Mostly we don't use dual mode. Unless the way how you get the zip trunk, it's based on dedicated zip trunk. That means you will have two different Ethernet cables. You will have two different network connections in the office. For that circumstance, we're going to use dual mode because our PBX, physically, we have two interfaces. We have LAN port and WAN port, but actually, we cannot handle two different networks simultaneously, which means you're supposed to activate two interfaces physically. This is step one. You're supposed to configure them. And the second step is, if the LAN port, for example, is your default interface, let's see, I want to use my WAN port as well. I want to use my WAN port to connect with my SIP trunk, service provider, the trunk provider, anyway. So what we're supposed to do is we're going to go click on static route here. We will need to add a particular static route. We will need to add a particular route there. The static routes here is kind of like you will need to set a couple of rules there to tell your system how to route your data transmission through your LAN port, through your WAN port. That's it. All right. But like I said, mostly we don't use this unless the way how you get the SIP trunk is based on dedicated SIP trunk. Otherwise, we don't use this. But anyway, you guys want to know more details about the static route, about this dual mode, dedicated SIP trunk, something like this. Stay tuned. You guys can join in our next session. We have another session, guys. Another session is called YSC. I think it's called YSCSS, Security Specialist. In that one, in that particular training course, we will talk about this. This is like a more advanced configuration. All right. So today we're just gonna skip this part. Okay. All right. Now let's keep going. Then one more thing left here will be bridge mode. You can also use bridge mode. I guess this is so common. This is very universal, I think. Bridge mode is very popular. This is kind of like we're just going to build the bridge between LAN port and WAN port. So you will be able to use your WAN port. Oh, let's see. You can use your LAN port to handle upstreams. And then you can probably use your WAN port to handle downstreams. That's it. So it's like a connection, right? We just build the bridge. Very popular if you want to drop the P-Series PBX in the local area network for the bridge. That's it. So you can use the bridge mode. Okay, that's what it is about this part. Not a big deal, I guess. All right. Now, keep going. And also, you can customize your date and time settings as well. All right, so same thing. If you already figured this out in the installation wizard, you can skip it. If you want to customize it in the future, you can change it over here. All right. And email settings is the same thing, like I said. The SMTP server, once again, we do provide you guys the default SMTP server here. All right, but if you want to customize it, that's okay. You can choose custom email server, so you can customize the SMTP server by yourself. This is also supported. And the email templates here, we give you guys a bunch of options. Wait a second. I will need to switch it back here. Okay, let's keep going. Then as for the email templates here, we have so many templates because for email notifications, there are a lot, right? So you can customize the templates here. And you can also change the notification email language here as well. Now, currently, we only support a couple of options here, but it will be updated step by step. More and more languages will be updated. Okay, so this is about the email templates. All right. Okay, now let's just get back here. Keep going. All right, now one more thing I want to talk about here is going to be the voice prompt. One more thing for today's session will just be the prompt. This is also part of our preparation work. If you truly want to use your PBX, well, this one, it's really important. So the voice prompt here, you guys can see we have prompt preferences here. First of all, you can have a little bit customization here for your music hold, for invalid phone number prompt. Anyway, these are all customizable. You can just make your selection here, all right? And what I want to talk about here is going to be the system prompt. What is the system prompt? System prompt is exactly the prompt played by the system for some notification, all right? So the default one is going to be the language you set at the very beginning. If I make it as English, then that will just be the English. However, if I want to change the system prompt language, what now? Now you can actually choose download online prompts here. There you go. You're going to go access our prompt server. You can find all these languages. So find the one you're using, go click on download. That's the way how you get this particular one. And one more option here will be upload system prompts by yourself. That's also supported. If you want to upload it by yourself, you can also do it. Okay. But this one, you will need to contact with our tech support, all right, for more details. Just be careful. This is the system prompt. One more prompt we have here is called custom prompt. Custom prompt, it's something recorded by yourself. All right, it's not like what you have on the system by default. This is something you will need to customize it by yourself. You're supposed to record it. I'm going to talk about more details in the next session, okay? So custom prompt is more like, usually we just use this for IVR, right? For some welcome greetings, then we need to use the custom prompt. So be careful with the difference between them, okay? All right, guys, so I guess basically that was all we have for session one. We've been through with a bunch of, details, something very fundamental, I guess. But anyway, this is kind of like our preparation work. You need to figure out all this. Then you're well configured, you're well prepared. You can actually start your configuration for the next step. So next session, we will talk about the extension settings, the trunk settings, the call control settings. Okay?